The confirmed number of coronavirus cases in Los Angeles County comes to 282,982. The confirmed number of deaths reaches 6,773. Here in Torrance, the total number of confirmed cases is 1,513, with total confirmed deaths at 72. We anticipate those numbers to increase as the county updates its last 24-hour operating period. Welcome to COVID-19 Today. I'm Christine Lee. It's 4 p.m. on Tuesday, October 13th. California is continuing to experience its lowest levels of COVID-19 hospitalizations and deaths since early in the pandemic. According to the state's Public Health Department COVID-19 dashboard, the average number of deaths reported daily in the state is 57, the lowest since May, and fewer patients are being seen in the hospitals related to the virus, with just over 2,200 on Saturday across the state, the lowest since April. The positivity rate in California is also at an all-time low at 2.6%. Los Angeles County also reports encouraging signs of progress as 881 new coronavirus cases and 2 new related deaths were reported on Monday. LA County public health officials are encouraging anyone who has participated in large gatherings, whether it's the Lakers celebration or the march through Mid-City in support of Armenia, to get tested for the virus, especially if there was shouting, chanting, or singing and masks were not worn by everyone. Officials say the virus can pass to others even before they know they are infected. Anyone who was potentially exposed should stay away from other people and monitor themselves for symptoms for the next 14 days. Governor Gavin Newsom is making plans to visit Southern California theme parks this week in an effort to continue conversations on how to safely reopen these popular destinations. Newsom announced in his press conference Monday that he hopes to get people back to work and create more entertainment options in a safe way. He said, "We need to do so with a health-first frame." Along with Newsom, members from various California state agencies will also be visiting theme parks to help develop reopening plans that suit both the industry and the governor's office. Members from the state's public health, California Division of Occupational Safety and Health, and the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development will visit popular destinations that have been closed since mid-March, including Universal Studios, Knott's Berry Farm, Six Flags, Disneyland Park, and Disney California Adventure, along with several more across the state. A Nevada man is the first American confirmed to have caught COVID-19 twice, with the second infection worse than the first. While the 25-year-old is said to have been healthy with no known health problems, according to a genetic analysis of the man's infections, he may have caught a slightly different version of the virus. The Nevada man said he is an essential worker. He said he started feeling ill in March with a sore throat, cough, headache, nausea, and diarrhea. His workplace had been hit with an outbreak early in the pandemic. In late April, he reported that he was symptom-free as he was ready to head back to work. Then a month later, now 2 months since the initial infection, he went to urgent care reporting similar symptoms of COVID-19. He tested positive for the virus even though he still had antibodies in his bloodstream. Now worldwide, there have been nearly 24 reported cases of reinfection since the start of the pandemic, but it's unclear how many cases there have actually been and how common it may be among people who don't know they were infected to begin with. The Nevada man has since fully recovered, but it's raising questions now about how long people are protected after being infected with the coronavirus and how much protection a vaccine could offer. One of the top contenders for a COVID-19 vaccine is taking a temporary pause since one of their participants recently became ill. Johnson & Johnson announced they've stopped further dosing in all COVID-19 vaccine candidate clinical trials, including the Phase 3 Ensemble trial, because of unexplained illness in a participant. While company officials say accidents or illnesses are an expected part of any clinical study, especially large studies like this one, company guidelines allow them to pause and take a moment to determine if the serious adverse events were related to the drugs in question and whether to resume the study. Johnson & Johnson is the 10th pharmaceutical company worldwide in phase 3 clinical trials and 4th in the U.S. working towards developing a COVID-19 vaccine. Supreme Court nominee Amy Coney Barrett faced senators again today during her second day of confirmation hearings, while Barrett took no questions on Monday and instead heard opening statements from 22 members of the committee. Today, senators fired questions at Barrett with topics ranging from her approach to health care, abortion, racism, legal precedent, and even the presidential election. Day 3 is expected to be more of the same, with Thursday's hearing to include outside witnesses to testify in support or opposition of Barrett's nomination. As many Democrats oppose President Donald Trump's nominee, Republicans are hoping Barrett is confirmed before the November 3rd election, filling the late Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg's vacant seat. It may feel like Black Friday in October as Amazon Prime Day kicked off at midnight. The e-commerce giant is hoping to get an early start on the holiday shopping season after delaying its traditional summer sale to the fall. This is also a chance for the nearly 1.7 million small and medium-sized businesses around the world that sell their products on this platform, a chance to boost sales that were impacted due to the pandemic. Target, Walmart, and Best Buy are also holding big sales of their own to compete with Amazon's members-only shopping event. The National Retail Federation's new consumer education campaign called New Holiday Traditions encourages consumers to start shopping early to avoid crowded stores around the holidays. According to a holiday survey from a firm, 2,000 Americans were polled, and 7 out of 10 said they're more likely to buy something on sale now rather than wait for the traditional Black Friday or Cyber Monday sales. Apple unveiled its latest iPhone models today. The launch was streamed live at 10 a.m. this morning. 4 variations of the iPhone 12 included a mini phone with a 5.4-inch display, an iPhone 12 and 12 Pro with a 6.1-inch screen, and 12 Pro Max with a featured 6.7-inch display. Its 5G network capability is considered the next generation of wireless technology, promising lightning-fast speeds on mobile devices. An example experts often give is that you can download the entire 8 seasons of Game of Thrones in just a few minutes. Apple's top competitor, Samsung, has already rolled out a 5G phone, something that analysts say has hurt Apple sales in Asian markets. The COVID-19 pandemic and supply chain issues have also delayed Apple's iPhone 12 rollout. As unofficial ballot drop boxes were reportedly seen at various sites across the state, California Secretary of State Alex Padilla and Attorney General Javier Becerra are making it loud and clear they want those unofficial ballot drop boxes removed immediately. Both offices jointly issued a cease and desist order to the California Republican Party to remove the illegal drop boxes that California's Republican Party acknowledged they owned. Cease and desist orders were also sent to county Republican parties in Los Angeles, Orange, and Fresno counties. State GOP spokesman Hector Barajas said the party owns the boxes and declined to say how many exist and where they are located. Here in Torrance, there is only one official drop box, which was approved by the City Council and has been provided as a service for voters who don't want to vote in person due to the current pandemic. The Los Angeles Registrar Recorder's Office officials say ballots will be picked up in time for the November 3rd election. It's located outside the Katie Geisert Civic Center Library near Torrance Boulevard. Pet owners, you may want to check your pantry for dog food being recalled. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration recently announced it's expanding a previously announced dog food recall over concerns the products contain a mold byproduct that is potentially above acceptable levels. Sunshine Mills expanded its recall after the company first announced in September concerns of products that have higher than allowed levels of aflatoxin, which can be harmful to pets if a significant amount is consumed. Sunshine Mills products affected by the extended recall include nearly 24 products, including Principal Super Premium Natural Dog Food and Sportsman's Pride Maintenance Adult Formula Dog Food. The expanded recall affects dog food distributed here in the U.S. as well as those in Japan and Colombia. Consumers who purchase recalled products should discontinue use and return the unused portion back to the place of purchase for a full refund. You can also call 800-705-2111 for more information. Torrance police arrested a suspect who was positively identified in a recent homicide attempt and is now under arrest for attempted murder. On Saturday, October 3rd, Torrance police officers responded to a 911 call around 8 p.m. at El Retiro Park regarding a stabbing that had just occurred. Officers found a 62-year-old Torrance man with several stab wounds to his upper body and head. First responders with the Torrance Fire Department treated the victim at the scene and later transported him to a local hospital. During the investigation, officers learned the victim parked his car as he waited for a friend. Then the suspect, Joseph Mejia, a 25-year-old transient, walked up to the victim's driver's side open window and began an unprovoked attack on the victim. The suspect allegedly stabbed the victim numerous times with a large knife. The victim was able to scream and honk his horn and successfully scare off the suspect. Torrance police searched the area and were able to locate the suspect just a few blocks away from the crime scene. Detectives filed charges of attempted murder and great bodily harm with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. If anyone has information regarding this case, they're encouraged to call the Torrance Police Department's non-emergency hotline at 310-328-3456. Residents in the Walteria area will enjoy newly paved roads as contractors continue to work ahead of schedule. Staff at the city's Public Works Department say work is already 50% complete. Nice Avenue and 242nd Street have been fully paved. Adolph Street and Los Cordona Avenue will be completed later this week, and Ocean Avenue and 244th Street is expected to be rescheduled to a later date due to a scheduling conflict. The residential street rehabilitation project is expected to finish this month ahead of the end-of-year anticipation. Finding a day during the week to visit a local gem will get much easier come next week. The Torrance MADRONA Marsh Preserve announced plans to expand its visiting hours beginning October 20th. The new modified schedule will open the marsh from 3 days a week to 5 days a week, allowing visitors to drop in beginning Tuesdays through Saturdays from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m. Appointments are not required, and upon arrival, you'll find a park ambassador there to greet visitors and remind everyone about all of the COVID safety protocols in place to ensure a safe visit. Entry is based on a first-come, first-serve. Visitors are asked to keep socially distanced while visiting and comply with CDC guidelines by wearing a face covering and using hand sanitizer. The marsh, which is one of the last remaining wetlands in Southern California, is home to hundreds of birds, insects, reptiles, and unique plants. I had the chance to visit the Madrona Marsh recently and share my first-hand look at all that this beautiful gem has to offer and the safety protocols in place to make it an inviting place for the public. I invite you to join me on Saturday at 2 p.m. on weekends in Torrance, right here on CitiCABLE, to take a tour. The Torrance Area Chamber of Commerce invites the business community to learn more about how to survive this pandemic. Join Congresswoman Maxine Waters in a webinar tomorrow, October 14th at 11:30 a.m. as she hosts a small business webinar for small business owners in the South Bay who may need help understanding the range of federal programs available under the emergency legislation passed this year to help businesses struggling during this pandemic. This event is free, but you must RSVP to receive your Zoom link. And if you have a question you'd like to ask Congresswoman Waters, you must email Donna Duperon at the Chamber by 5 p.m. tonight. To RSVP, email ca43webinar@mail.house.gov. It may be mid-October, but Southern California is expected to face another heat wave this week. The National Weather Service sent out a heat advisory for Los Angeles County to begin tomorrow through the end of this week, with daytime temperatures expected to reach into the high 90s and some areas into triple digits. To avoid heat-related illnesses, people should stay hydrated by drinking plenty of water and fluids, stay in air-conditioned rooms, stay out of the sun, and be sure to check on relatives and neighbors who are at risk, are sick, or live alone. Avoid strenuous workouts while wearing face coverings, and never leave young children and pets alone unattended in vehicles under any circumstances. City officials will continue to monitor temperatures and said staff will be on standby should there be a need to open a cooling center in Torrance. Today, we saw a high of 85 degrees with a low of 65 expected tonight. Then on Wednesday and Thursday, you could expect highs to stay in the mid-80s here in Torrance. You've probably also noticed the sun setting a little earlier each day as we get closer to daylight savings, which occurs on Sunday, November 1st. Well, before we go, at the end of each program, we like to share stories from our community, feel-good pictures, images, and videos that remind us of how resilient our community is and how Torrance truly cares. The Torrance Fire Department is hoping to stay connected with the community with a virtual tour this year. Due to the pandemic, they had to forego traditional visits and tours inside Fire Station 1. But not all is lost. Instead, they're inviting the public to check out their virtual tour available online. What a great way to shift gears during this health crisis, staying safe and protecting the community by going virtual. Now, if you have a great story to share, email us at covid19today@torranceca.gov. We'd love to hear from you. Well, that's our update for COVID-19 today. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as Rhiannon Chuchanich brings you the latest updates. Be safe, stay healthy, and thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time.